Citizens, and how is everyone doing today? Welcome back to the verse. Although we're not in the verse, we're going to be looking at the upcoming free fly with the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. So anyone who does not know, this is the time for you to try out every ship that's currently available in game. And also at the same time, some new ships might be released. New ships, actually, there's going to be at least one, the Intrepid, we do know about that. And it's a free fly event, so on the one hand, if you don't own the game and you want to give it a go, it's a good time to give it a go. On the other hand, unfortunately, not ever usually the most stable time to try the game because so many people are joining that don't normally play, as well as new accounts being created. If you do want to take part, though, all you need to do is make yourself an account. Be sure to use the link in the description below. That way you have a referral code tied to your account. It can only be added when you make your account. So if you already have your account and you did not use referral code, unfortunately, you're going to have to make a new account for that to happen. If you made an account 5 years ago and it has referral code, then you are good to go. But we do have a referral code in the link below, as well as one at the top of the screen. So the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo Free Fly, we're going to look at this real quick and really just kind of go over what we need to do, as well as what kind of ships are going to be available. So I just want to take a look at this real quick. But during the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, anyone can explore Star Citizen's incredible persistent universe for free, even if you don't have a Star Citizen game package. Correct. Unfortunately, you are going to have to download it the day of or during the expo. You can't pre-download the game and start right away. You're going to have to download it during the free fly event. So starting November 22nd, each day, different ship manufacturer is going to be taken over the expo hall for 48 hours. So that means when you're renting ships, you have kind of a rolling selection of ships you're going to be able to take over. If there's something you want to try in a game, or if you're trying to do something like the Stave Stanton event, you're going to have access to all the ships you could ever need in order to do those events. So that's going to make it really awesome. So looking at the schedule here, first day, day one, Crusader Industries and Tumbrel Land System. So they have the Crusader Intrepid. So this is going to be a new straight-to-flyable Crusader starter ship. So I still don't know how much it's going to cost. I know they've actually increased the size of the weapon. So they've already made a change based on the test version of the ship. So it's now coming with a larger weapon as a starter. As a starter, depending on the price, it might be a pretty solid option. But if it's priced any higher than a cutter, I don't think it's really going to be a starter ship. The cutter, currently the best starter ship I'd say in the game. We have the Crusader A1s and C1s. They are pretty awesome. The Inferno and the Ion, the Hercules, which are larger cargo and military type ships. And the Star Runner, which is a ship that I love. It gets a lot of hate in the verse, but it's actually a ship that I kind of really still enjoy owning. Tumbrel Land systems, mostly things like buggies and tanks. Those are going to be available as well. Then the next day we have Aegis Dynamic. We have the Avengers, and the Avenger Titan is another starter that a lot of people seem to really like. The Eclipse, the Gladius Valiant, which is a Arena Commander specific type loadout. Interesting. The Hammerhead, which is a cool looking ship. Really good if you have a lot of people to man the turrets. Kind of a cool little ship that people like. My main experience with Hammerheads was munching them up with the Reclaimer in order to make money back when that was a thing. We have the Firebirds, the different versions of the Saber here, including the new Peregrine, kind of a racing style, and the Aegis Vanguard Harbinger. After that, we got this new ship here coming from Misk. So we have Misk and Mirai. So these are the Star Lancers. We have the Star Lancer Max. I believe that's the only Star Lancer currently available in game. It's a cool looking ship that I can't wait to actually try out. It's not one I would personally own because I have other ships that kind of fit these rules, but maybe one day in game I would buy that ship. It is kind of got a cool interior. Some of the best crew quarters in any ship currently right now for that price. We got the Freelancers. All of the different versions there. The hulls, which I've not really used. If hull trading is working, maybe I'll give one of those a go. Prospector, great way to make money. I don't know if that's really the case with rentals, though, since you can't easily modify the ship. Although being able to physically pull things off and put things on, maybe that actually is something you can do now. The Starfarer, a cool ship to entertain people by having them run around and get lost. Currently not a lot of use for the refueling, but I hope that's going to change with the changes with fueling coming with 4.0. And then Mirai, which is more the racing division. We have the Fury, the LX, the Pulse, and the Razors, all these different ships here. Then we get into the alien ships. Apoa, So it's got a few of those coming out, including we have the Santoki here, which is supposed to be a starter. I wouldn't really call this a starter ship because it really takes a lot more skill to fly this ship than some of the other ones based on how it takes off and lands. We have the Banu Defender, the only current Banu ship in game, and we have the Asperia, which are replica of a lot of the other ships, like the Vandal ships, as well as uh, the Talon. Oh, I made a mistake here. I wasn't really paying attention. That is not the Santoki. That is the Sulian, which is the Gatak ship. I don't know why I said that was the Santoki. It's probably because I don't speak any of the alien languages. After that, we got Roberts Space Industries, including these two new ships here. We've got the Zeus ES and the CL. So this is like the new Zeus ships, which are pretty cool looking ships. You have the RSI Polaris, which is a massive ship that I cannot believe everyone's going to be able to rent those ships. We're going to have a lot of Polarises, Polaris, Polare, whatever the multiple of Polarises is. We're going to have a bunch of those flying around at once. This is going to test the servers for sure. The Auroras, I say if you're going to choose Aurora to try out, try the LN. I think that's a fairly undervalued ship. It's a pretty fun ship, but these are definitely beginner ships. The MR is one of the original ships that I suggested as a very cheap starter just to get into the game. The Constellations, very cool ships. The Taurus does not have a snub fighter. These other three have snub fighters. I believe all three of them do. They're pretty cool. The RSI Lynx, a cool, very fancy Land Rover. We have the Ursas, the Ursa Medevac, and then we have the CL and ES Zeuses for there. Argo, you can get this Atlas and try out this power lifter. We have the, what's the CSV? What one is that? Oh, it's that one. That's relatively new too. Kind of like a big brother to the Mole. Or Mule, I should say, not the Mole. We have the Mole, which is a bigger mining ship. We have the MPUVs, the different versions of those. Currently, separate 3 versions, but eventually you're going to be able to switch between one module and the other on the MPUV. And the SRV, which is like a tow truck of the Verse, and the RAF, which is a cargo ship holding the bigger containers. Consolidated Outland. Out of all these, I'd say, honestly, the Nomad is the one to try. It is an awesome ship. If you're looking for a bigger starter, the Nomad is the way to go. And then we have the PTV, which is like a Jeep. We have the Rock, which is great if you want to try some rock mining. The DS, I say give it a pass. And the STV, the STV is like a Jeep. The PTV is like a golf cart. And then we have the Snub Fighters. If you've taken out one of the constellations except for the Taurus, you probably have tried out one of these snub fighters, the Merlin or the Archimedes, so that's kind of awesome. Drake is a company that I used to not be a fan of because I was never a fan of the looks of the Cutlass Black, but this guy here has changed my mind, and the Caterpillar has changed my mind. So the Caterpillar is an awesome ship to take out. The Corsair is a fun ship. The different Cutlasses, even though I didn't like the looks, the Cutlass Black is a great ship to take out and fly around. And the Cutters, probably the best starter right now is the Cutter or one of the other Cutter variants. They are amazing starters. The Drake Mule, a little tiny little thing to carry around some things when you're driving around. The Drake Vulture, if you want to get into salvage, this is the solo starter salvage ship. Then we have Origin, fancy, beautiful ships. Interesting, the 600i and the 600 Touring are both here. Usually during the expo, only one of these tends to be rentable, but it's got both of them up here. 890 Jump, the biggest ship until the Polaris, I believe, in game. We have the racing ships like the M50, pretty awesome. And then we have Anvil Aerospace here, which we have all the ships available in game. We have the F7C Mark II. Oh, you know what? Not all the ships available in game are here. Because my very first ship, my Kickstarter ship, is the Anvil F7C Hornet Mark I. It's not on this list, so it is not a ship that you can fly, that I actually have that is flyable. So, interesting. The Pisces, I think the Pisces are an awesome ship to have buying in game because you can get them and take them out at any Platinum Bay, so you can take them out at any location. If someone steals your ship, you can actually use the Platinum Bay and get yourself that ship and fly away. They do have jump capabilities, unlike the Archimedes, so I think they're pretty good, solid ones to take. If you're trying to do the Save Stanton event, the F8C Lightning is guaranteed to get you through Phase 1 without any trouble at all. I mean, pretty much any ship can, but that would be overkill. some of the ground vehicles, the Spartans. We have the Terrapin, which is a best in show winner. Ooh, and speaking of best in show, ooh, very purple. So how this works, best in show. These are the best in show ships. There's going to be these ships for sale. There's going to be war bond, reduced price offerings for these ships. I don't see why there wouldn't be. And if you buy one of these during the event, they're going to come with this paint. If you already own one, if you already own a Reclaimer, a C1, I'm assuming not the S or the A1, only the C1, a Terrapin, or the F7C, F8C, F8C, I think it was. I think it is the F8C. If you own that ship, by the end of the expo, once the expo is over, if you have one of these in your hangar, you're going to get these paints for free as well. So if you own a Reclaimer, you're going to get a Reclaimer paint. If you own a Terrapin, you're going to get the Terrapin paint. That's going to be added for free. If you own one of these ships, like let's say I owned a C1 and I've melted it and it's in my buyback, that does not count. You need to have it in your account. So these ones, if you have one of these ships in your account already, you're going to get these paints. If you buy one during the event, you're going to get one of these paints also. So that is it. And then it basically goes through to the finale, and the finale basically from the best in show, and then we go days 11 to 14, and then which is December 2nd and 5th. You're going to have these ships, all of these ships available during those 2 days. So if you really wanted to try a ship, but you didn't really have the time to play midweek, you're not going to be able to get them at those days. You can try them at the end of the event. So that's pretty awesome. So this is it. And so if you would like to go to the RSI website right now, you can click on the new player guide. You can make your account. And what is this? New Diversity AAE Academy is here to guide you. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. And yeah, and a welcome back page. So yeah, these are kind of cool things. Really, the main thing you got to do right now is just make sure that you have made your account and you're ready to go. Don't forget to use that referral code during that process. And that is it. Really quick. I was going to keep this about 10 minutes. We're at about 12 now, so I'm going to cut this here. And hopefully, I'll see you all soon at the expo. Goodbye, everybody, and thank you for watching.